that beautiful? That's Rob Machado doing what we know him best for doing, surfing. But on this particular occasion, he's not riding the waves in California or Hawaii, where he's of course won many prestigious competitions. He is surfing in Bali. For the latest film from Rob, The Drifter, he leaves the competitive surf world behind and goes on a soul-seeking journey to Indonesia. He was kind enough to come back though and tell us all about it. Hey Rob, good to have you with us.
Thanks, nice to be here.
So it's interesting, in The Drifter you say that the surf world can feel like a traveling circus. You spent so many years in it, but you say it's important to disappear sometimes. So why did you decide to disappear to Indonesia, and was it what you expected?
Yeah, I kind of was at a crossroads in my life, and I was at a place where competitive surfing was kind of no longer really a full-time gig for me, and it was kind of a place where I needed to kind of get away and kind of think about things and what I was going to do, and Indonesia was just the natural place to go, and mainly because the waves are so good, and my friend talked me into coming down there, and we decided to make this movie. So
yeah, and you really try to get away. There's this wonderful scene where you're riding along in a taxi and then you essentially abandon the taxi because you see a motorcycle for sale, and you go ahead and you purchase the motorcycle, and then we see you riding off, and at one point you just ditch the cell phone, and there it lies by the side of the road for the duration of the film. But I'm wondering to what degree you could actually feel like you were getting away from it all, considering I guess you must have had a film crew with you, and you're also very famous.
yeah, that's interesting, because I did have a film crew with me, and at times it was as little as 1 or 2 guys, and sometimes it was 8 or 9 guys. But what was cool is that when I did get to these outer islands and I started to get away, I was able to kind of separate myself from the film crew, because a lot of times they would have to go back to hotels to charge batteries and download cards and kind of do what they had to do with all their gear. And I just chose to stay out kind of where I was and camp and be in my tent, and that was my good alone kind of quiet time.
Yeah, we see you enjoying a lot of nice solitude, but there are moments when you interact with the local people. We want to have a look now at a clip when you're talking about the impact of the locals on you.
A spiritual roller coaster that can make your head spin. But in the end, it comes down to the people.
Now, Rob, this film is shot in a really interesting way because it documents your journey, and yet you apply a little bit more artistic license than the typical documentary would. So how would you describe it?
Yeah, it's tough, because I wouldn't call it a documentary, and I wouldn't call it a typical surf film. It's not just wave after wave and music. It kind of takes you in to my journey, and it was a 6-month period we spent shooting, and I journaled everything, and we used the journal to kind of recreate things that we didn't catch, and sometimes they'd film me, from off in a distance just doing what I did, and it was really just inspired by my wanderings through Indonesia, and we put it together so that you could kind of feel what I got to feel on that journey.
And inevitably, even though it's not your typical surfing movie, as you say, your wanderings do take you into the water at times. You talk about how surfing is the thing that has really kept you sane over the years. And a lot of people won't have experienced what it's like to be out there riding those colossal waves. So tell us what you mean by that.
Well, surfing and just being in the ocean is actually it's like my second home, It's like where I go to escape, and it's weird, I was talking about it yesterday with a friend of mine. It's like surfing is one of the things I do in life where I don't think. And when you're actually physically riding a wave, your mind is just completely clear of all thoughts, and you're not thinking anymore, you're just acting, and you're in this continuous flow with this wave, and you have to constantly adjust and do things. So it's a pretty special place to be, and the ocean is just like this wave right here. I remember this wave like perfectly, like it happened yesterday, and it's what I do, and it's where I spend a lot of time, and it's a really special place for me.
Oh, and there you are, all alone in that wave. And now you're back home again with your family. Are you a changed man because of this experience?
Definitely. It definitely makes you look at things differently and appreciate, like the simple things. I got home and turned on the faucet and water comes out. You're like, wow, right?
Yeah.
I mean, something that simple. When I watch people walk a couple miles with a bucket of water, you're just like, wow, yeah.
Affecting indeed. All right. Well, Rob Machado, thank you ever so much for joining us and sharing those experiences from your new film, The Drifter. We hope everybody will check it out.